Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Cleary, and I am the program manager for Magic. I am here with one of our lovely mentor-mentee pairs from SCA, and we are here today to just talk about the lovely partnership that they had. Yael, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Yael S. I go to SKA, and I'm a senior in high school, so I'm finishing up.
Mhm.
And I've been working this year with my mentor, Dr. Amelia H, on a systematic review.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So Amelia, do you mind introducing yourself as well?
Sure. My name is Amelia H, and I have been working with Yael as my mentee. It's been absolutely a pleasure, honestly. I am a physician and a researcher, and I work at College Children Medical Center for the bone marrow transplant division within the hematology oncology. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun working with Yael. It's been great.
Yeah, great. I've heard only wonderful things from the two of you, so I can't wait to chat more about that. So Yael, you mentioned that it's a systematic review, but can you just tell us a little bit more about your project and why you chose it?
Yeah, so when I interviewed for Magic, I was really interested in kind of exploring more about having a career in research and also medicine. So, like when I interviewed, I was like asked to find a specific topic. So I decided to pick epigenetics and also the health of the kidney. And due to kind of age restrictions, we couldn't really do any sort of experiments in the lab. But when I was chatting with my mentor, she told me about how important it is to have the skill of being able to conduct a systematic review in the research field. So we decided to do that as our project.
Okay, great. So it sounds like maybe your project went a little bit differently than what you were originally thinking. So can you just talk a little bit about the importance of adaptability when carrying out a project like this?
Yeah, so definitely in like the larger research world, nothing is ever going to be, okay, I'm going into this project and this is going to be the outcome I'm going to have. You always have to anticipate the unexpected. So that's definitely something we learned throughout this process, especially because obviously my mentor is incredibly busy doing life-saving work. And I'm a senior in high school, so there's also a lot of busy work with that too. So being able to kind of adapt in terms of like our meetings and just having to adapt our project to the time frame is something that we were able to learn throughout this process, which was great.
So you mentioned, it sounds like you're talking about the importance of like time management and things like that. So can you talk about the skills that you learned, not necessarily directly related to your project, but just some of those important skills such as time management and other examples?
Yeah, so time management is definitely a skill that I've struggled with throughout my life. Like it's definitely pretty difficult, but being able to have like the guidance of a very flexible mentor and knowing that she also has an incredibly busy schedule and being able to kind of look at our own schedules and see, okay, what's realistic for us to accomplish this week and in our time frame was something that was really helpful. And it was a skill I was able to learn about like what's realistic and what I'll be able to get done.
Mhm. Wonderful. And you also mentioned that you are a senior, so congratulations. What an exciting time. And I'm sure the countdown's on to graduation.
Yeah.
And so can you just talk a little bit about if, how magic has helped you focus on your goals for the future, if at all?
Yeah, so magic definitely has helped me focus on my goals for the future.
Mhm.
I obviously in high school, it's very hard to get like professional level research experience or just being able to speak to a mentor in that sort of field because you're mostly focused on like whatever the high school curriculum is. So being able to be a part of this program and learn from a mentor who's in the exact field that I want to pursue in the future and being able to ask her questions was extremely helpful to me and gave me a lot of clarity for the future and my career.
That's wonderful. So it's clear that you've gotten quite a bit out of the project and working specifically with Amelia. So with that being said, Amelia, what are some things that maybe you learned from Yael?
Oh my God, I've learned so much from her. I can't believe, I'm sorry about my dog. There's somebody else. I'm sorry about that. So she is incredibly bright. And even though she says that she has trouble managing, a lot of work and time, she was able to pull it off. So I'm really, really proud of her. And the experience itself has been actually very inspiring to me because, when you start university, college, your career, you're not thinking about, giving back in such a way, like, for example, pair up with a high school student or something like that. Doesn't cross your mind, right? You're just, out of school, you're just working and the real world and all of these. But this program is so incredibly important for them because, it is a guide before they go into the real world and to get like a little feel of how it is to connect those two different worlds. Basically, it's like a bridge. So I think, for me, it was a very, very nice experience and kind of connect in that way from my world to her world. And here, or I feel that, it was helpful for her. For me, is very rewarding, just one thing. The other thing is that I also learn what they go through as well until they get to where they need to get. So eventually, if I am involved with residency programs or, students like Yael, I'll be able to also realize what's, realistic and not realistic, because there's a lot of work when it comes to residency programs and things like that, and it's nice to get a feel of what they go through as well. I have nothing but good things to say about it.
Wonderful. So that's the entire purpose of Magic, is connecting people together and exposing young people to the STEM field. And so I'm so glad to hear that both of you got such a wonderful experience out of it. Amelia, it sounds like you got quite a bit out of the experience as well. So can you just share a little bit of maybe advice or, maybe like an elevator pitch? If someone was considering becoming a mentor, what would you tell them about the Magic program?
One thing that I wanted to say, because my field is the medical field, so it's not the same as other fields, for example. So if you want to do a research project that's all you can do at the high school level, I would have loved to have more time with Yael, because if she wants to do something more specific, like she wanted, for example, and see real patients and how her idea would apply, I would have had to go through a lot of committees and approvals and things like that for her to be able to participate. Of course, I would have been with her because you're not supposed to be younger than 18 to go into the hospital setting and see patients, things like that. But I would have been able to accommodate if we had a little bit more time. So that's one thing. And I understand that there are some constraints and, schedules, and her year, for example, being honor students and all of that, it has been like challenging for her already. So I can imagine that adding to it would have been, but eventually something can be done, along those lines, if medicine is the subject, that we're taking into account. That's the only thing. But other than that, it's a great experience. It is, it really is.
Wonderful. So we always appreciate the feedback, and we're always looking to improve year after year. And so, certainly with hearing from both of you, what a wonderful experience you've had this year working together and on the program, we'll only grow from there. So thank you both so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. I really appreciate it. And both of you, congratulations on just such a wonderful year and project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it too.